Hello, good morning. I welcome you to the Sword of the Spirit. I'm David Olajire, and I'll be taking you on comparative religion. Today, I want us to look at the inspiration of the Quran. Let's see if this Quran is actually inspired by God, and if it is not inspired by God, what we should do to it. Let's see who inspired the writing of the Quran. It is very necessary for us to look at this important subject of discussion because, one, the Quran claims to offer salvation. The Quran claims that anybody who doesn't follow the Quran is not saved. And because of this, we cannot play with it because our salvation is centered on something like, because it claims to be something that will give us salvation, and without it, we can't make heaven. I want to make heaven. I don't know about you if you want to make heaven, but anyone who wants to make heaven will be so concerned to look at any book or any claim that has to do with eternity. And two, it also claims to be from God, that it was God that inspired the writing of the Quran. It was God that gave Muhammad the Quran. It was God that controls everything in the Quran, and it is not an invention of man. And since it claims to be from God, and I love God, and I believe you love God too, we should be willing to know if this is true. Is it true that is it true that it truly comes from God? And if it is true that it comes from God, we need to follow it. And if it's not true that it comes from God, then we need to throw it away. And three, it also, the teaching of the Quran is completely different from the teachings in the Bible. Why is this necessary? The Quran claims to be from God. The Bible also claims to be from God. But it's certain that the Bible has more solid evidences than the Quran. Why? Because the Quran itself gives credence to the Bible. So it will not be necessary when discussing on the inspiration of the Quran and the Bible to begin to look at it if the Bible is not inspired too, because the Quran itself says the Bible was inspired by God. So we are not going to be looking at if the Bible is inspired in this teaching, because the Quran believes that the Bible is inspired. All Muslims believe that the Bible is inspired. The only thing they may say is that it has been corrupted, of which in later studies we are going to see if it's true that the Bible has been corrupted. So because of these three things, we need to look at it. If the Bible is from God, the Quran is from God, why do they have different teachings? It means one must be wrong. The Quran, the purpose of us looking at the inspiration of the Quran is this three, but it is more centered on the fact that the Quran claims to be inspired. Because if the Quran does not claim to be inspired by God, then we will have no need to begin to look at the inspiration of the Quran. If I tell you there's a gold in my land, then you begin to see if you can dig the gold out. But if I tell you no gold in my land, then you don't need to bring your tools to want to see if there's a gold in my land. So we are trying to see if there is a gold in the Quran, because the Quran claims that there is a gold in it. So in 15 verse 9 of the Quran, it says, assuredly we alone have revealed this glorious admonition, that is the Quran, and surely we alone will guide it. So God is saying he revealed the Quran to Muhammad, and he alone will guide it. And in Surah 29 verse 48, he said, and oh beloved, you never recited any book before this, nor did you write it with your own hand, in which case the disbelievers would certainly have doubted. So in this other surah is saying Muhammad did not even write a single verse in the Quran with his own hand. Everything were dictated to him. That's why it's called the Quran, a recitation, that it was just reciting it. Everything was dictated to him. So he was just writing or putting down what has been revealed to him. So because of this claim, it is very necessary for us to look at it. But I think, I believe the Quran is not inspired by God. And I'll give my reasons why. First, the experience that came before the revelation comes to Muhammad shows it cannot be from God. What do I mean by this? There's this experience Muhammad had when he was receiving the revelations. That is the Quran. It was in the Quran. And this revelation, the experience he had, shows that it cannot be from God. You know, in the Bible, God revealed himself in different ways, through dreams and all of that. The experience, the way Muhammad received his revelation shows it cannot be from God. The first revelation of the Quran came to Muhammad when he was in the cave of Hira, meditating. He always goes to the cave to meditate every day. Then when he's hungry, he'll come back home to take food from his old wife, Khadijah, and go back to the cave again. So one day he was in the cave meditating. And while he was meditating, something happened. It is recorded in the Hadith al-Bukhari, volume 3, number 7, where Aisha, the little wife of Muhammad married Aisha when Aisha was just 6 years old. And he had sex with Aisha when she was 9 years old. At that time when he had sex with Aisha, Muhammad was 45 years old. So you won't be surprised when you see so many Muslims marrying little girls too small for them. You see some people of 50, 60 years because they are Muslims, 60, 50 years of Muslims, then marrying a girl of 5, 6 years. It is because they are trying to follow the footstep of their founder, Muhammad. He married a girl. We can call him a pedophile. But I don't want us to go into the character of Muhammad, because if we should go into the character of Muhammad, we would not even like the Quran at all. Muhammad had sex with a little girl, a pedophile. Could God have used such a man? He was a murderer. He killed so many people without pity. In fact, one of the cruel or the worst killing he ever did was permitting one of his disciples to go kill Asma, a poetess. The disciple killed Asma when she was still breastfeeding her baby. Imagine how cruel it was. So we won't look at the character of this man. We just want to look at the Quran itself. Because the man may misbehave, but we expect the book not to misbehave. For example, in Christians, we have people that are drunkard. This doesn't mean the Bible permits drinking or drunkenness, but they misbehave. So if anyone should look at their attitude and say, oh, Christianity is so bad because we have people that are drunkards in Christianity, then that person would be completely wrong. Because we ask, does the Bible support drunkenness? And you say, no, the Bible does not support it, but because I say Christians doing it, then it makes it wrong. That doesn't make it wrong. So we are not going to look at the character of the man. Later in our study of this comparative religion, we'll begin to look at the character of the man. But for now, let's just focus on the Quran, the inspiration of the Quran. So in that hadith, Al-Bukhari, volume 3, number 7, Aisha, the little wife of Muhammad, narrated that when the angel, that is the first time he received his revelation, the first revelation he received, which is recorded in Surah 96 from verse 1 to 5, said, when the angel, the alleged angel Gabriel, came to Muhammad, he squeezed Muhammad so hard and commanded him to recite. Now listen to this. The angel came to Muhammad and wanted to give Muhammad the revelation, the Quran, wanted Muhammad to recite the Quran. And all he could do was to squeeze Muhammad by the neck. Squeeze Muhammad's neck, trying to choke him to death. That's strange. That's strange. We have no record of God revealing himself in this way to any of the prophets before. We have no record of such. If there should be a record, we will say, okay, that may be a way God reveals himself to people. But God pressing the neck of his messenger simply because he wants to give them send a message through him is something that is too strange for me to accept. What if the messenger dies? It is recorded that this happened 3 times. When it happened the first time, pressing his neck, trying to choke him to death, he said he is not learned, he doesn't know what to recite. Then the angel pressed his neck so hard and said, recite in the name of the Lord. And he said, I'm not learned, I can recite. Then the angel pressed his neck so hard the 3rd time. And at the 3rd time, said recite, and he started reciting. And that's recorded in 96, verse 1 to 5 of the Quran. So he started reciting. He was scared. The angel wanted to kill him. He had no option than to recite, forcing it to his neck, forcing it to him. So immediately after this, he ran away. He was scared. He ran to his wife, Khadijah, and told his wife, I think something is wrong with me. I'm going mad. I think he knew better. He knew he was going mad. But his wife, who loved him so much, said, no, you're not going mad. God will not allow such thing to happen to you. you've been a good man and you won't go mad. So he doesn't even know it was an angel. The angel did not reveal himself to him. The angel was just pressing him, wanted to kill him. So if at the third time he did not recite, perhaps he will be a dead man by now. That's strange. Very strange. So God doesn't do this. He won't do it. He hasn't done it in history before. So what could have been behind this, if not God? Maybe it was something else. And what could that be? It might have been demon possession, a demonic possession. Maybe he was possessed by a demon. And this is not something that is strange. Some people will say, no, don't talk about prophet being possessed by a demon. But it may be true. Because in the pre-Islamic Arabs believed in the demons of poetry. And they thought that a great poet was directly inspired by demons. And you know, the Quran is like a poem. So Muhammad could be called a poet. So in the pre-Islamic Arab, before Islam came to Arab, the inhabitants of the Arab nation, they all believe that you must be possessed with by a demon before you can be a poet, a good one at that. So maybe this is what happened to Muhammad. This is recorded in Al-Tabari, volume 9, page 167, note 1151. So this could have been what happened to Muhammad. He could have been possessed by the spirit. Because when he got the revelation, he never thought it was an angel. He doesn't know it was an angel. He just ran to his wife and said, I think I'm possessed. So I think he knew better that he was possessed. He himself confessed to it that he was possessed. And also, the people at that time who were with him, they knew he was possessed. In Surah 44, verse 14, it says, but they turned away from him, that is, those he was preaching to, they turned away from him and said, he is well instructed, but possessed. They said he is well instructed, but possessed. The people he was preaching to, they said, this man is, so they were saying in essence, this man will love his poem, but he is possessed. They understood that what he was displaying was something peculiar to those who were being possessed by a demon. In Surah 37, verse 36, it said, and they used to say, that is those he preached to, those who were around him, they used to say, are we going to forsake our God for the sake of an insane prophet? This man is possessed. Not just possessed, he's also insane. So are we going to leave our God for him? They knew better that he was possessed because they understood how people who are possessed behave. Now let's compare the nature of his revelation with the Bible. Why are we doing this comparison with the Bible? We are doing this comparison with the Bible because the Quran itself in several places tells the Muslim that they should verify the claims of the Quran with the Bible. Even told Muhammad that if Muhammad is in doubt, he should ask from those of the who owns the book, that is the Christians and the Jews. And this book talked about here is that has been talked about here is the Bible. So we need to compare with the Bible to see how it is. We are going to be looking at 4 cases in the Bible where angels reveal themselves to men. And in all of these cases, it's either the angel will be the one to tell the person his name, or the person will know due to the way the angel behaved. But never in any case was the person being choked to death or being squeezed by the neck. The first case I want us to look at is in Judges chapter 6, the case of Gideon. An angel appeared to Gideon. And the angel didn't say, I'm Gabriel or Michael or I'm this or that. But Gideon knew it was an angel. Gideon wasn't squeezed by the neck. Neither was he being choked. He wasn't terrified. He wasn't as in, how will I put it? He wasn't, strange thing did not happen to him that will be as if he was going to die if he doesn't listen to the angel. Then in Judges chapter 13, we have the parents of Samson seeing an angel. The mother saw the angel first. The mother did not know that it was an angel. She went home, the angel came to her and told her, you give birth to a son. and he will be strong and will deliver his people. He will be a Nazarene. She went home and told her husband. She said, I met a man, but I think he looks like an angel. She must have seen something, maybe the way the dress or the way he spoke. It looked like an angel. Then the father of Samson prayed to God and said, if it's true, let me also see this man. And he saw the man. In these two cases, they were not squeezed by the neck. They were not almost killed. They were not sweating. So why was the case of Muhammad different? The case of Zechariah is another one I want us to look at in Luke chapter 1 verse 19. Zechariah went in to pray, and as he went as a priest to pray, an angel appeared to him. The Bible says Zechariah was afraid, of which is normal. I'm the only one who is supposed to be in the room, and I'm seeing someone in the room with me. I will be very much afraid. But it wasn't squeezed by the neck. He was afraid, only afraid. I would be afraid, everybody would be afraid, because I'm supposed to be the only one in the room and I'm seeing someone by my side. How did he come into the room? Then the angel said, do not be afraid. I am Gabriel, and I've come to give you glad tidings. He wasn't squeezed by the neck. Though he doubted the angel, the only thing that happened to him was that the angel said, you will be dumb for a while. The angel did not press him to say, now you believe like he did to Muhammad. No. So why was Muhammad's case different? Then the case of Mary is the fourth one I want us to look at. In Luke chapter 1 verse 26 through 38. Mary, a virgin, saw an angel by her side and she was afraid. Just like Zechariah was afraid, because I'm supposed to be the only one in the room and I'm seeing someone by my side, I'll be afraid. She was afraid. And the angel said, I've come with good tidings. You will conceive and give birth to a son. And Mary was like, I've never slept with a man, how will I give birth to a son? The angel said, the Holy Spirit will come upon you. In these four cases, we do not see the angel acting strange like it did to the one of Muhammad. So the one of Muhammad resembles something that is demonic. We have cases in the Bible of people who were demon possessed, and their cases is just like that of Muhammad. They were being tormented, and Muhammad was being tormented. Muhammad did not even know it was an angel. So, what should we say to this? The only thing we can say to this is that it wasn't God that inspired the writing of the Quran. And I think Muhammad knew better, because all through while he was being possessed by this spirit that is not God, he also doubted that it was God.
Let me do.
He also doubted that it was God. That's why in Surah 68 verse 2, the demon possessing him has to tell him, by the grace of your Lord, you are not insane, because he thought he was insane. So, beloved friends, we cannot believe the inspiration of the Quran because of the way or the nature of the revelation. There are other things we will see that will make us to doubt the inspiration of the Quran. This is just one of it. Stay tuned to this channel and we'll keep on talking about these things, and we'll get to know so much about the Quran, and I pray our Muslim friend will come to understand, and at the end of it all, they will change their belief. Subscribe, like, and share, and God bless you. Amen.